All right, we'll go ahead and call ourselves to order, and at this time, we will, stand and we'll have prayer. Ms. Siner, if you'll open us up, and, then we'll do the pledge of allegiance.
Lord, we thank thee one more time that you permitted us to be here like we are tonight. Thank you for your blessings that you bestowed upon us. Be with those that are sick and afflicted. Be with Ramona today. Touch her body, Lord, and it'll start healing, we humbly pray. Not only her, Lord, but the others that are so sick. All these favors, Lord, we ask in thy name for thy sake, and amen.
All right, pledge allegiance, I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you will, stay standing just a minute, and we're gonna do a moment of silence for Councilwoman Kay Asbury, who passed away this past month, so we'll just have a little moment of silence for Kay. Thank you. All right, John, roll call.
Councilman Siner?
Here.
Councilman Gotti? Councilwoman Vickers?
Here.
Councilwoman Fletcher?
Here.
Mayor Fletcher? Recorder Siner? And Attorney Keener?
Here.
We do have a quorum.
Approval of the minutes from January 16th. Everybody's got that in your packet, so give you a minute there to look at it and tell us if you see anything.
Yes.
That's why there's no mistake.
That's what I was gonna say.
What's that?
Jacob done the minutes.
Ah.
That's why they said there's no mistakes. I don't even start doing them.
All right, any comments? If not, we'll entertain a motion that they be approved as presented.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion by Melanie, have a second?
Something. Or I'll second.
Second by John, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign, so ordered. Old business, approval. Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. I told you, man, it's been a heck of a day.
You've had a rough weekend.
And thank you, Ms. Siner, for that comment about Mrs. Fletcher. Mrs. Fletcher is doing a little better. She went through some surgery today. They did put some screws and a plate and everything in her ankle. And so she fell up at the cemetery yesterday, putting flowers on her mom and dad's grave. So took her to the hospital yesterday. They kept her, and looks like they'll keep her a few days and then try to do some physical therapy. So I'm home alone. All right, financial statements, John.
Yeah, for the month of January, we had a income of $109,946.90. Expenditures in the amount of $71,840.30. For a surplus for the month of $38,106.60. Out of the income, the $109,000, $23,250 was from American Water. Keep in mind that is reimbursement for the West Reynolds project, so for the paving, so that basically gets moved over to that.
I spent it this month and more.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah. So February looked a little worse.
If there's any questions?
Any questions at all for John? If not, we'll entertain a motion that we accept the financial statements as presented.
So moved.
So moved by Jacob. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, second by Nicole. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, like sign, so ordered. Okay, now old business. Approval to pay the requested refund of taxes paid to Altice in the amount of $8,055.88. I think we've talked about that now for about 4 or 5 months. I think Ray did some checking with a couple of towns. East Bank was one. And, they did go back and said that this is a project that, all the towns have to repay. So, what's the pleasure of the council? We'll need to entertain a motion to.
Yeah, and if you remember, Ray did talk about this last month, we
Right,
didn't, we didn't agree on it because it wasn't on the agenda,
Yeah.
or we didn't vote for it, but that's why it's on there now.
We talked to East Bank, and their mayor had obtained an opinion from the PSC. The PSC had actually done some research and determined that it was legit. So we kind of had our work done for us.
I'll make a motion to pay the refund of $8,055.88 for all size.
Got a motion, we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Nicole. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign, so ordered. New PA system for town hall. I did get a quote from Sederos, and what I saw online is real close, so I just kept this quote. It's a Yamaha Stage PAS system 400. It's a Bluetooth PA system. The cost altogether, I'll give it to you here in a minute. The wireless system mic, and then some speaker cables to hook up the speakers, and it does have a the soundboard, the mixer, and all that with it. It will work Bluetooth, so if we have a PC like we've done that's set up, it'll Bluetooth right to the system, so you'll be able to play tunes or anything through the system itself. Altogether, the price on this thing is $1,124.97. So that's from Sederos. And what I ended up going with was we have a wired mic in here, so I did do the wireless system, which will Bluetooth right into the system, and we'll be able to use a wireless mic. So I thought it was a pretty good system and everything with it. So what's the pleasure? We definitely need to buy one to take the place of that other small one in there that's shot.
Yeah, I definitely think we need to.
Yeah.
I'll put it in
You
motion.
want to put that in motion, okay. Got a motion by Melanie, we have a second,
I'll second.
second by Jacob. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign, so ordered. All right, we'll get that going. New business, February 13th events, the high water flowing over the EQ basin, the basement, house flooding around town, Reynolds Branch water overflowing the bank, and Hastings Hollow issues. Just wanted to say that we had many water in basements last week there. Some of the places was over on 10th Street here with Mike Green. Kay Asbury's house actually had water in the basement. There were the EQ basin down at the sanitary plant was overflowing again. That water actually did, drain down through the yard and everything, went into the creek, went into the river, so we had to call the spill line and put that in. I don't know what's different or what's going on, but man, I mean, this system's been crazy. We now have a spot today over on Midland Avenue down toward the end that the guy said, hey, my line's blocked. So they went over and they started digging on it today. They opened up the manhole, there's a big piece of concrete in that thing this big around. We don't even know how that got in there, but they're trying to get that out of there, trying to get the blockage taken care of. They're actually digging up the street over there to actually find out what's going on with this line. So we've got places around Belle going on with different places that we just have not had in the past. Hastings Hollow, if anybody saw that, water came over top of the road over there, went down Midland Avenue both ways, came out right across the street here and was flooding the railroad tracks, and actually came over into the road and everything again here. We had one problem down there on Reynolds Branch. There was a tree down there, and it looks like that, and the one tree that fell was in behind the stone house. And looks like whoever cut that tree left a lot of the limbs and everything in there. It actually diverted water up on the bank and went through David Puffenberger's side of his house and Wesley Smith's yard, the last house down there. The new pavement that we put down, I mean, it was totally, mud. And, so the guy's been down there, cleaned all that off. Wesley came up, he said, what I need to do about it. I said, hey, I said, I don't know if there's anything you can do about it. But I said, sent the guys up the creek, they pulled all these limbs and everything, and, there's a tree cut over there on the stone house property. It's sit there in blocks and everything else, but apparently there were some limbs and everything down in the water. So we've got it taken care of. It's flowing okay, it seems to be now, and, until we get the next hard rain, we'll not know for sure that it's totally fixed or whatever.
It's Thursday night and Friday. An inch and a half rain.
Oh, okay, so that's
I
what
heard
we're,
that when I came here.
that's what we're waiting on. So we'll see what happens here Thursday and Friday, and, going from there. One thing with Thrasher Engineering, our new engineers, I need them to come up to look at this system to see what the world's going on. We've never had this much water in this EQ basin, but now 3 times this year, or within the last year, we've overflowed those EQ basins. And, I was teasing a little bit tonight. I said, well, we need to build 2 more, and, but, we shouldn't need to, but something's not right with that plan or something, so we're gonna need, probably to get Thrasher up here to kind of do a check on that plant and everything else, so we'll try to, get some of those things done. Any questions? Anybody see any problems herself? I mean, I can tell you right now, I called Kevin out, I was out. And the houses that we normally had problems with, like on 8th Street and everything, went by those houses and they had no problems whatsoever. Anybody else have a problem? Anybody around? No? Alrighty, so we'll see what we can do. Next thing's Finance Committee meeting, John?
Yes, we need to set the budget for the year 24-25. Finance Committee always meets before the March, council meeting. So I need to set a special meeting sometime in the next 2 weeks. So what date is good for the Finance Committee? And I'm pretty much wide open, so.
Really, any day other than the week of the 11th. But yeah, any day.
Yeah, it's probably too late anyway.
Why don't we do something the week of the 4th?
Can we?
Maybe the 5th, 6th, or 7th?
5th is on a Tuesday, so can everybody do March the 5th at say 6 o'clock?
Yeah, that works for me.
Melanie?
Yes.
Good. So we'll have a finance meeting March 5th, 6 o'clock. I've already got everything ready to go as far as the trend for the last 3 years, so it should be a pretty easy meeting.
All right.
You said 6, right?
Yep.
6 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, March 5th, 6 o'clock. All right, so with that taken care of, the next thing on here is our open council seat discussion. And, kind of, looked at, what we need to do to fill Kay Asbury's seat. And, what I'd like to maybe suggest is that everybody kind of put a couple names together. And, let's bring those back, over the next week and a half, 2 weeks. And then, the night of the meeting, then we will, come back and hopefully have a, recommendation to, bring forth to council. Does that sound okay to everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody good with that?
Yep.
All right, so we'll do that. The next thing is announce a new president of council will be put on the bank accounts as a signer. And that's always goes to the senior person on council. And the senior person now on council is Miss Melanie Vickers, so.
That's not the oldest.
So Melanie, I will go ahead and appoint you the president of council and so congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
And, we will get you down to the bank and get your name put on there. And, so that way we've got, a third person on there to sign. So that's that part. The next thing is, RIC, or Regional Intergovernmental Council, and the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation presentations on 2/15/24. Last week, I did go down to the Kanawha Valley Foundation, made a presentation to their selection committee for grants, along with Sam Richardson with the RIC board. And so we did talk about, one thing was our lighting projects, and also did discuss if we would do sidewalk project, things like that, through Belle. The planning part, it's estimated that would be about $8,000. There's a 20% match, and what we're asking the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation is to meet that match dollars. So it's $2,000 to start out with. And so they have actually taken it under consideration, and then from there, then it will go to their full board in by about the end of March. And then from there, we should know something after that. So I think everything went well. Todd Dorcas, who works down there, said everything, as far as he knew, everything went well. Everybody was pretty pleased with the presentation. They had some questions for us, so we answered them as best as we could and moved on. So we'll see whether or not we get that match. But that'll start us at least getting the lighting, getting the sidewalks and things like that completed throughout town. The next one is the Simple Grants Company, grant information and discussion. We did have a call tonight with Jessica Taylor, who actually is the president of this Simple Grants Company. They've been in business about 13 years. They're in 24 states. They do everything from grant identification, grant writing, grant management. There is infrastructure and safer streets, which is pretty much what we're looking at with water and sewer grants and everything there. So it's pretty much what we're thinking. We know Nicole wasn't able to make it tonight, and we know that Mark wasn't able to make it tonight. So we asked if we gave her a list of a few things to look at, then maybe she could come back and or come in maybe possibly and do a presentation of the entire council. So that's where we're at right now, and so we'll go from there. Any comments from anyone?
It sounded promising, so.
Yep.
Especially considering she's already doing this for towns our size in Alabama. She also said in Mississippi and Florida.
Yep. So we'll see. So it may be something we can look at and move forward with. Miss Blue didn't come up tonight, did she? And approval of invoices, anything? Personnel issues, nothing. Police Department report, you have that in your packet. I don't think there's anything on there that, something we didn't have before and everything else, but,
There's an address that keeps popping up. Number 2, number 4, number 9. Is that a known issue that we?
yeah, and I think we've had a discussion with the owners and everything over there, and we'll see whether or not we can get that taken care of and get some of those things off of there.
And then if you look at number 3, number 11, number 12, it's all the same. It's an apartment complex, I guess.
Yep.
Kind of the same issue.
And The gentleman there was arrested a couple of weeks ago
Okay.
and taken to jail, so that might even be trimmed
Okay.
back.
Well, and keep in mind, we do have the ordinance, the nuisance ordinance as well, so I guess if that address continues to pop up,
Yeah.
we can find the owner of the apartment complex, so. Okay.
All right. Anything else? All right, if not, we'll move on. Items from the mayor, I think I've gone over pretty much what I had, talking about the things, so I'll let that go. Town attorney, anything at all? Items from council. Nicole,
I was gonna bring up Easter egg hunt.
okay?
Easter's on the 31st of March. It's early,
Wow.
so we just asked John about spring break, because I figured that was gonna be the big issue. And kids are out the 25th through the 29th in Kanawha County. So we were thinking about maybe the 23rd, you know, versus the 30th. 'Cause the 30th is Easter weekend.
Okay. What's the pleasure?
I think we should do
Yeah.
the 23rd.
I won't be here, but you ought to still do that.
23rd for the Easter egg hunt?
Mhm.
We'll do it at Walker or Ford County?
Boyd.
Last time we did it at 2:00, is that what time we want to do it?
We'll probably shoot, I mean, maybe the same time, but we may change. But as of now, we'll say 2.
Okay. Shoot for 23rd, 2:00 right now?
Yeah.
All righty. Any questions from anybody? No, we'll just go ahead and approve that. Huh?
We do need to ask for some money too.
No, because it's part of
Oh, no,
recreation.
that's fine, yeah.
This is the
Right.
budget. So we're good. Anything else?
Nothing else for me, just the Easter egg hunt.
Okay. Melanie?
Just remember the dance Friday night. It's gonna be the partners, and I know that there's been some people that's not really been happy with him, but he's got a new female singing with him and 2 new band members, so I think we need to give him a chance and let him see what he can do.
And we'll have food.
And they'll have food, right, Shirley? Also, we have, March the 22nd will be the next band, and that's Stephanie and the Brothers, which used to be Mark 4, Stephanie and Mark 4. April, we don't have scheduled, we don't have it locked in yet. May also, on the 24th, we'll have a band, and we'll have April probably locked up this coming week.
Okay.
And Shirley has agreed graciously to have food for our people on Friday nights.
Have what?
Food
Oh,
to
yeah.
sell.
Yeah.
They've stopped doing it on Thursday nights because really there wasn't that many people here and she just wasn't even making enough money to pay for
Yeah.
what she put out.
Have we told them they're not doing it this Thursday night?
They haven't been doing it for what, 2 Thursday
No,
nights?
I'm talking about just the same.
The same.
No, we have not.
Okay.
But I would assume that they would know that because we told them that the bands was gonna be Friday night, this Friday night.
You did tell them?
Uh-huh.
Did they, do you know if they made an announcement that there wouldn't be one?
They didn't.
Well, but typically it was a given, if they had a Friday night band, they wouldn't be here Thursday.
Yeah, I know, we'd always told them too, so,
Well, Frank's gonna be the one here Friday night,
yeah,
so he's here Thursday night.
okay,
So I'll call
Okay.
tomorrow and make sure that.
okay, yeah. All righty,
So can I have a copy of the schedule for March and?
Yeah, you
April,
can, I'll give it to you and then whenever I get the
Just
rest of
send me
them.
a message with it, so I'll have this.
what was the band that was over at, Marmet last Friday or a couple Saturdays ago? What's that guy's name? The big, tall, dark-haired guy that they live up around Cedar Grove or something, don't they?
Do you wear glasses?
Oh, you're talking about Chuck.
Okay. We got him, hopefully he'll be here in,
Chuck plays for several different ones.
yeah,
Yeah,
We're gonna try to get him for April, that's the one that's gonna get back with us,
Okay,
yeah, I forget, I've got the name
yeah,
of
they
it.
were pretty good when
Yeah.
they were here.
And then
And
we're
I
gonna try
think Tim had said they played over there a couple Saturdays ago.
We've been over there.
I'll tell you, it was the night we had the bingo here,
okay,
was I passed y'all, going up the road, y'all, he said that's where y'all was going.
and then we're gonna try to get Derek Cooper with Mountain Gold,
Yeah,
which will be June, I guess.
okay.
I
And another
noticed
one
that,
of them,
Marmot's always putting notices out about their bands.
Uh-huh,
Is
On
that
Facebook?
something that you all can do on the Belle site, so?
Yeah, like Elaine's already posted them, cause I went to do it today and I
Yeah, I
saw
see
Elaine had it posted.
yeah,
Yeah, I seen it today.
I mean, we can put more on there, you know what I'm saying, if on the, we can put like a,
I just thought theirs was really nice, you know, they're always posting, you know, way ahead of time.
uh-huh,
Yeah, we could definitely post them more in advance, yes.
yeah. It's a good idea.
I seen that Frank had put it on his page,
Mm.
and so that's where I got it from, to put on the town page.
And the bands have also started now, they're gonna try to start doing this. If they're playing, they're gonna put it on their Facebook page where they're gonna be, because sometimes we do get people that follow people, you know, so. So hopefully we'll have a big crowd.
Yeah, there's some other Facebook pages that post us on there too, I've
I
seen.
may not have them on mine, but, anyhow, I know several people have asked, and I'm like, just look on the town Belle site, I don't know really what to tell you at this point. so.
We'll have them on there, who's, are you doing the?
They're on the website, yeah.
Okay, no, I mean, do you have the bands?
I've got March's now, but no, I don't have, what was April's again?
Um, April, we haven't got locked in yet. May is the Partners Band,
And that was the 24th, right?
24th,
Okay.
and March the 22nd is Stephanie and the Brothers.
Right, okay.
And then as soon as I get, Chuck locked in, if that's who's gonna do it, then I'll let you know in April.
Okay.
alrighty,
Yeah, they
anything
post
else?
some events on Facebook too that way.
Yeah, everybody knows. That's all.
Anything else, Melanie?
No, sir.
Alright, John, anything? Okay.
Nothing from me.
Alright, motion to approve visitors to address council.
So moved.
Jacob, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Who?
Nicole.
Nicole? Okay. Alright, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed, like sign? So, and we'll go ahead and let me start with Abby and them. Abby called me and they wanted to talk to us about the high school and the robotics. And Abby was here before with his son and all the others and had made the presentation with us before when they were at the middle school. So now he said, well, they've moved up to the high school and said, can we come back? And I said, well, sure. So Abby, we'll turn it over to you all.
All right, well, you know, thanks for having us, councilman, women, and mayor. This is Ms. Cooper for Riverside High School. She's the coach and teacher for the kids. And you know, these kids, they've been doing it for a while, you know, since some of them are from elementary to DuPont Middle and Riverside. So, Ms. Cooper, you have the floor now.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we, excuse my voice, I'm really kind of off the voice right now. These boys and girl had come up from the DuPont Middle School, and they are, had Miss Martin as their coach there at the middle school, and they did an outstanding job. They come up to the high school, they are a part of the after-school program I have. I have 3 classes of robotics, and then I have an after school for those who couldn't be in the class. They have shown their outstanding work, and you'll see their robot over there. We have really been successful as far as that goes. We've all qualified for states. So all of the teams at Riverside qualified for states this year, which is in Fairmont. March the 10th and 11th. let's see, what else? They, were asking for some, funds because, they do not pay for registration fees or, any kind of fee that we would have. It's basically, you know, like, well, you're gonna have to go on your own, and, we have to, now in the county, when we compete in the county, we have to charge, entry fees for that. So every high school now charges an entry fee for us to be able to compete. We do not, we have some money in our account, to cover some of those fees, but some of the fees that we do not have, like when we go to states or we go to eventually Worlds, which this team has a very high potential that they will be going to Worlds this year. And it is in Dallas, Texas. So that's a pretty far, trek from West Virginia all the way down to Dallas. So, and we're just trying to make sure that, they have a successful time with that, because we're seeing right now, just by looking at the stats, that they'll probably be going to Worlds. And we have a competition at Riverside here Saturday, so everybody's welcome to come and check it out if you've never been to a competition before. They are kind of interesting to see. So we have one Saturday. The competition starts at 8 o'clock and will conclude about 2 o'clock. So you can pop in or see and check out what's going on there. We have 26 teams that are going to be attending. So it'll be a lot going on over there at the gym. So.
They also went to the Worlds last 2 years. They were in the Worlds last 2 years.
Yeah, so they're a very successful team. We're very proud of them. They do a good job.
And my wife and I actually went to a competition a couple of weeks ago in DuPont.
Yeah.
So some of her students, or used to be her students, were there competing, and wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought it was just gonna be a group of people in the middle. There's all kinds of stuff going on. And that really wasn't, I don't think, a huge event. I can only imagine a bigger event.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. You
Yeah.
get to see, I think last year, the Worlds, I think there was 90 countries from all over the world.
Mhm.
So that you get to see all the
Crazy.
kids, all kinds of people, you get to meet with them. It's pretty interesting and
Yeah.
pretty nice. Last year, you helped us, you know, so we appreciate that. Hoping to get some sort of similar type of help again. Just kids, help them kids out, that's all.
You know, I mean, I had to make
Did you all want to show us
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
Good.
You guys go, I'll let you guys go. Oh, Abby, if you would like to pass that engineering book, just pass it to them. I'll bring it to you.
Yeah.
This is the notebook if you wanna look at it. There's 2 pages. Yeah, there's 2 pages in the end that aren't done, but a lot of it's, most of it's done.
They use that notebook for an engineering and design process where they'll build a robot and then they will, test it out. And then if they have to make any changes to it or make any, changes at all, they start documenting what's that in the notebook. So you're always
It's gonna make
seeing
noise
a
because it's
new,
gonna-
process every time they change their robot. They're gonna document that in the notebook to say, this is what we're doing and this is the, new format. But they have coding in there. They will have, in some cases, they could have CAD drawings in there to learn to do CAD. They have all of their changes that they make to it. So it's a very detailed record of their robot, what they've done in the class this year. So it's really good to have a good notebook for that, because that, if you just have a notebook that's well written and well done, that could also be potential to go to Worlds. So it's there are a lot of things that are really tied in with this, and when they do a good job documenting their process, they're showing that engineering and design process, and as you know, it's an iterative process, so.
Now, when they get a competition, show their notebooks.
They have to show their notebooks, and they get judged by them, and there's several people that judge for those notebooks.
That, the engineering notebook is pretty much like for dummy people like us, so we can pick that up and.
I still wait on that.
You know, so.
The air compressor is kind of loud, but I'll fill up the pneumatics tank. But pneumatics is one of the most important things on the robot, if you want to show it.
So pretty much, we have 2 tanks, one on each side here, and they're air powered, and they control these pistons here, which when we activate it, it'll bring our arm up. We have 4 of them here, and then we also have 4 on our wings here. Not many teams use these, but we really like to, and they play a big part on our robot. Because this year, you shoot your tri-balls across the field, which is what we use our wheel for. And other teams also like to do that, so that's why we have this, so we can be tall enough to block them from shooting theirs across the field.
Yeah, there's 2 sides of the field, and there's a big barrier in the middle, so you either go over the barrier or under, because there's a part where you can go under. So we try to keep it small enough so we can go under, but we still want to raise high enough to block anyone or not be blocked by anyone. It's around like 37 inches in height, and all the competitions we've gone to, we're the tallest one there. Other than the first one, we only got 1 award, but if you want to show them the rest, we got 3 at the last 4. We got 3 at each competition. We won the last 1 round.
Which is just the highest you can get. So, you can read off that the tournament champion, innovate award, design award, excellence award. Those comes from like judging. So basically, judge goes visit them, each team, and
Yeah, each competition will have around like 5 to 7 matches, and then at the end determines where you are in the brackets. And the brackets is where you pick your alliance and go against each other. And there's interviews, and there's the skills, and there's also a skills award. Skills is you're by yourself, you're not against anyone. We've gotten a few of those. We've gotten 4 of those. We're 4th in the state out of tons. We plan to be first. We're trying something instead of a wheel. It's going to be kind of like a catapult, just kind of tiny. But yeah, and there's interviews. So when we get there, they've already looked at our book online, but then we have to interview and talk to our better robot.
I have to say skills is also, they're just writing code so the robot can move on its own autonomously. So that's really a part of it, and then there's a part for your driver. So there's really 2 parts to skills.
So total time for the match is 2 minutes. 1 minute and 45 seconds is the tournament, which is kind of like a football. You have offense and defense. And the first 15 seconds, that's called autonomous point. It's got, you guys explain better than I can.
It's really just 15 seconds of code where you can't drive, so whatever you have it programmed is what you can do. There's win points there, that if you get the win point in the autonomous, Happy goes up in ranks, which in the brackets, if you're first, you pick first. So autonomous helps us a lot, and if you win autonomous, you get an 8-point bonus, which is how we won last time, because it was really close. Something went wrong with our drivetrain, and we won by those 8 points.
That's awesome. Good deal. Yeah. Any questions from anyone? All right. Thank you all very much.
Can they build it on 5? Can they build it on 5? Electrical circuit.
So Mrs. Cooper, I know you said you had 2 classes and this was like after school.
team, how many teams are in the class, or is a class a team?
Well, I have 5 teams altogether, and I can have like for my first, class, I've got 1 team that competes, and then I have another team that they don't compete.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I do form them in teams, and some of them want to compete out in the county, and then some of them are just like, I don't wanna compete,
Yeah.
so I have that situation. I've got, my 5th period class has 2 competition teams, and then I've got a team that doesn't compete, or 2 teams that doesn't compete in that class. So, in my
You got
third
your hands
one-
full.
Yeah, it's,
That's awesome.
it's interesting, though.
Yeah, that's good.
Alrighty, so, Abby had an agenda when he called me and said, hey, can we come up? And, but he did mention that, we did, give the, middle school a donation before. And, so they are asking, you know, would we do some kind of a donation for them? So I think, what's the pleasure, you know, of the council? And I think, John, we still have some money in our budgetary for contribution items
Mhm.
and everything. So, you know, what's the pleasure? I think we were talking before that, we thought we'd done $500 before. What do you
I
want?
think we should give them 500.
I agree with the 500.
Abby, is that gonna help y'all out?
Every little bit helps. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
So, who made the motion? Melanie, Nicole seconded?
Second.
Okay, got, Melanie motion, second by Nicole, that we donate $500 to Riverside High School, robotics class, and, $500. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign, so ordered, so, all right.
Also, you owe me $200. Facebook hacker, remember? So you asked me for, did he tell you that?
That's all I got.
Hey, you never did give me money to fix my flat.
I know.
You sent me a text one day, it says, hey, David Fletcher's out there trying to get $200 because he needs a new tire, and that I've got a flat. And I'm like, Abby, I think I can afford $200 tire. And plus, I said, I just put 4 brand new tires on my truck, yeah, that Mickey ordered for me, so. I said, I don't think I need a tire.
Message
Thanks
was so
anyway.
weird, yeah, message was weird, like, hey, Abster, can I
Yeah.
get $200? Sure.
Yeah. Hey, and Abby holds a conversation with me, with the hacker, whoever he was. Yeah, that's what was so funny. When he sends me the text, it's got 4 or 5 different answers. And I'm like, Abby, you gonna talk to him all night or what? But then he reached out and called me. You know, he said, hey, let me ask you something. All right, thank you all.
Ms.
Anybody
Cooper,
else?
who do you want the check made payable to?
It'd be Riverside High School.
Anybody have anything else? If not, we're going.
I saw on Facebook, I don't know if y'all know, talking about.
Yeah, but in the memo, you know, robotics.
That used to, she was, what was her maiden name, Jonathan?
What is that, I'm sorry?
Rose Wilson.
And secretary.
Used to work at Vermont.
Yeah, Rose.
Rose,
Yeah, Wilson. Well, no,
She's married now, yeah.
yeah, Rose Wilson is her name
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Rose Wilson, right?
No,
She was
that's
Reed.
Rose, that's Rose.
Reed.
Yeah, Rose Reed.
Yeah,
Reed.
they are, getting her to the hospital at Clarksburg to see myself, we could all just, think of her and try to send her some good vibes and some prayers.
Okay, yeah, Rose Wilson is her name now. Yeah, she went to
I
school.
forgot.
She went to school with me.
Did you mention that?
Yeah, all righty. Richard Lindsay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, how you
Yes,
doing
sir.
tonight?
I'm doing fine. Thank
Richard
you.
Lindsay, came up tonight to, talk to us a little bit. He is actually running for, I think, the state senate.
No, circuit court, Judge.
I mean, sorry.
That's okay.
You were in the state senate.
I was in the
I
state senate,
apologize.
yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you for letting me come in here. My boys are ending basketball and starting baseball, so I didn't think I was gonna have any time really between now and May to get down here to see y'all. So, my name is Richard Lindsay. I am a candidate for the Kanawha County Circuit Court 8th Division. There is no incumbent in that seat. It's a new seat that was created by the West Virginia legislature last year. Before I forget, Ms. Cooper, if you all need more money, I may know some folks who can help you. So if I can talk to you afterwards.
Okay,
But good luck to you nonetheless in the states and the borders.
thank you.
I live on the east end of Charleston, West Virginia with my wife, Allison Cook, who is actually a physician's assistant at the Cabin Creek Clinic at Riverside. She's been there for 7 years. I said I've got 2 boys, 10 years and 12 years old. I was born in Charleston, West Virginia. I spent most of my life here. I am a lawyer. That's my day job. I've been practicing law for 15 years, representing clients on just about every level, from magistrate court to family court to circuit court to the Supreme Court of Appeals. I've been lead counsel or co-counsel on 20 separate trials in Kanawha, Raleigh, and Cabell. And I only mention that just to kind of establish my experience for this seat. I, for one, hopefully you all have never been before judges. Usually it's not a good experience, but a judge is someone that the best judges are those who have trial experience and know how the rules work. And I think I have that in my bag. I, as Mayor Fletcher pointed out, I was a state senator from 2018 to 2022 of the 8th Senate District, which never included Belle, although it was on the edge. It was Malden and Rand and everything west, basically, on this side of the river. But in that time, just to kind of give you an idea of the type of senator I was, I always protected the rights of cities, home rule cities being able to make their own decisions, because I do believe that the government closest to the people is the best government. I only mention that because I'm a big believer in our co-equal branches and how those branches should not overlap. You know, legislators write the law, judges interpret the law, they apply the law. As a judge, it's not my role to legislate in areas where the legislature that's their responsibility. So I'm a big believer in that, and I actually think that I could go on and on all night, but as far as my philosophy on how our government works, that's how it's supposed to work, and it strengthens democracy when the branches of government keep to the job that they're supposed to do. And so I'm one who only will apply the law to the facts, whatever the law is, in the case before me. I also mention it because throughout my Senate career, I always supported law enforcement through increases in pay for our state police, protected pensions for city and county police, supported EMS and fire departments, because I think that obviously those emergency medical services and law enforcement are essential to every city and every nook and cranny throughout our county. I'm running for judge because while I was in the state Senate and in my practice I did a little abuse and neglect as a lawyer, but in the state Senate I got a good idea of how our foster care system works, the problems within our foster care, our abuse and neglect system, and how a judge plays a supremely important role in making sure that where it's possible families are reunited, and where it's not possible, and in a quick manner, finding the next best alternative. Because at the end of the day, when you're talking about abuse and neglect, what you're protecting is the child, and making sure that that child is as safe as possible, as long as possible. The abuse and neglect docket, the reason why this seat was created was because abuse and neglect cases take up 13% of all cases in West Virginia. And that is just astronomical when you compare the court's docket from 5 to even 10 years ago. And so that's why I'm running for judge. I'll be happy to answer any question that you may have. Again, if you stick around, Ms. Cooper, I'd like to talk to you real briefly. But if anything else, I'm here. So thank you for the time and opportunity to address City Council. Thank you.
Thank you. I do, and with Mr. Lindsay speaking and everything else, I failed to ask you all something tonight. As the one of the mayors at the Upper Kanawha Valley Mayors, we have always had a Meet the Candidates night. And we would like to do that on March the 18th. And we are actually going to have a mayor's meeting next week. And that is part of our agenda items. And we will have that here at Town Hall. And
We've never met right here.
Thank you, sir.
I guess I'll ask you all, is that fine? Is that okay? That's on the Monday night prior to our meeting on the 19th.
Yeah, I won't be able to attend, but other than that, I don't have any objections.
Anybody have any objection? That's all about the mayor was used the.
What time do you usually come?
6 o'clock.
Okay.
Mayor, did you say that?
Richard? Yeah.
I'm sorry, is he gonna be
Right
here?
yeah, we do it in our large meeting room in the back.
Okay.
We have used the gymnasium, just depends on how many people that we actually see that comes out, so.
All right, thank you, sir.
We'll do that on March 18th, starting at 6.
Thank you,
We'll
sir.
have some light refreshments, and, so we, was trying to get some of that planned today, but I wasn't in the, position to actually do all that today. Had a couple mayors reach out to me, and I said, hey, I'm at the hospital with my wife, we're gonna have to do this some other time, so actually, I kind of threw that on the back burner, but sorry that I didn't mention it earlier. Anybody else have any problems with that? They did?
Sounds good.
Well, Lane, we might have to juggle some things around that night, so.
Oh, that'll be
Okay.
just fine. I do have a question though.
Yeah.
In the last month, let's say we've got some very rowdy kids. Thing of it is, they're not from Belle. They're from somewhere else. So the rule is, anybody can use the gym, right? They
Yeah.
don't, it doesn't matter where they're coming from.
But you don't have to put up
But,
with it.
yeah, but you definitely do not have to put up with it, and if you know it's repeat offenders, then just tell them that they need to exit the building. Tell them not to come back for, whatever you wanna say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month. And if you have, a real problem, we've got police protection every night pretty much now. John's out, 3 days a week, Hot's out 4, so, should be somebody on duty. If they're giving you a real hard time, dial the, police cell phone number and have them come by and see you. If it gets that bad, call Melanie, call Nicole, or call me, or call John. And,
Definitely up front, anyway, so.
yeah.
I can start leaving that door open, if I hear you yell, I'm I normally shut that door, but I can keep it open.
Yeah, but, feel free to reach out to them, reach out to one of us. And,
Okay, well, I had to run 2 out, Friday night, right towards the end of it. But then I felt really bad, because I did it, but they deliberately went against what I told them not to do.
Yeah.
And it just really irritated my soul.
Yeah.
And,
Then you shouldn't feel that about it.
No, and you're in charge, and if these kids act up like that, then they don't deserve to be able to play in there.
Look, so, yeah, I mean, you've got total control, so, the only thing, just don't take ball bat to them.
okay.
Water morning, but no ball bats. We have 2 attorneys in the room that'll represent us. But, and then Slime will come underneath the judge's purview, so. But, no, that's no problem whatsoever, you get total control, so take care of it, how you wanna do so. The only thing I'll ask them, what I've said before, is just let us know some of the times when we have to do that.
Right.
You just make sure you call Melanie, Nicole, call me, call John.
Yeah.
Just so that we know, and, it's the same thing when, the night we had the troopers come up here, and everything else, so, we didn't have a police officer that night, so.
Basically, they're pretty good. There's just one that when he comes on the scene, he just has a way of rallying them all up.
He comes in next week, or this week, just say, hey, don't want you here, going home. Just send him on back out. All righty, if nothing else, we will, entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved by Jacob, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. We are adjourned.